You are now watching the March District Delegate Assembly meeting. Here is your District Delegate Assembly Chairman Joe Formino.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you please take places? All the delegates or the alternate delegates should be up here. All right, here we go. I want to thank you for braving the cold weather today. And I tell you, it was something yesterday at our candidates forum. We had a winter wonderland outside, as you know, and we had as many, I would think, as we have had in the past show up. So our brave members came out and to attend the candidates forum. Thank you. So let's begin today. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag . All right, first of all, yesterday we did have one problem, and that was cell phones were ringing all day during our candidates forum. So please, turn your cell phones off, all right? And we have a guest speaker today. We're honored today by Sherry Flynn, our council member, and we're delighted that she has time to attend our meeting. Sherry?
Okay, good afternoon, district delegates. I'm so glad to be here. I think I'll just hold it. I'm so glad to be here. I would like to do this once a month if possible to give updates on what's going on with the city. And thank you for inviting me. I think the delegates is really the pulse and the heart of Sun Lakes because you have direct connection to all the homeowners and the people who live here. I've attended 3 meetings for the city council so far. And I'm going to give kind of an overview, and then you can ask questions after I'm done. And I thought yesterday was absolutely stunning, beautiful. I felt like I was in the middle of a snow globe. This morning, I went for a walk with my dog, and I unfortunately slipped on some ice and went right down. And so my hand is I saw my right pinky go to the right. So it's a little bit sore. But so everyone, please be careful out there because it was just in a shady area and there was just enough water to put a little bit of ice on the sidewalk. So one thing that, I don't know, I've mentioned this at other meetings, but the left turn signals are going to be installed at First Street and Sun Lakes Boulevard and Highland Springs. So right now there's, it's very dangerous. There's been so many close accidents, and actually very bad accidents. And so when I was at the conference up at Universal Cities for the League of California Cities, I met with the New Beaumont Council, Jessica Voigt, and I asked her about those signals, and she got right on it, and within a week, she was back to me, and the Director of Public Works, Jeff Hart, has ordered all the equipment. They've already done the traffic survey. So once that equipment comes in, they will install it immediately. And I'll let you have any updates, and they're going to give me updates on that. So that's a really positive thing. Also, I attended the Highland Springs Interchange meeting on Monday, February 27th. It was a great turnout. It was held in Beaumont. There was about 120 people there. They had 4 different schematics or photographs of the different interchanges and designs they're going to be planning to do. They wanted input from everyone. They had the engineers at each one who could answer questions and give examples of how they would work. There was one in particular that seems to be the winner. It's Alternative 3 Short Diverging Diamond Interchange. And I have it up here, or you can go on the website and see all 4 of them. And you can go to rctc.org, go to the Highland Springs I-10 interchange, and then you want to click on Public Information Meeting, and then you can see the 4 different photographs there and what the plans are. It's going to make that a lot safer. It's going to be quite interesting because you'll come up Highland Springs, and you will cross actually over into the left, go through the intersection and a median, and then go to the right. So you're not going to have, it's going to keep the flow going. It's almost like an extended traffic circle that they're going to do there. There's only one in California, in Northern California. There's a couple in Las Vegas. And I guess they're very excited about doing that. It's also the most cost-effective one. And so that means that it could start sooner rather than later. So if anyone has any questions on that.
Please use the microphone. Identify yourself and please use the microphone. Please identify yourself, okay?
Janice Rice, District 13. Could you please repeat the website again? Thank you.
So it's the Riverside County Transportation Commission, and it's rctc.org. And then you will see the different projects. You go under projects, you'll see Highland Springs I-10 interchange. You click on that, and then you go, it's kind of hard to see it. You go to public information, meaning there's a little tiny arrow to the right. You click on that, and then it will show you all 4 of the different designs. I'm a commissioner on the RCTC Commission for Riverside. I've attended 1 meeting so far. I was told when I was there they were happy to see me because they hadn't had anyone in Banning for 10 years come to these meetings. And this is really important because there's so many things that are going to affect us directly here and because of our traffic issues. So I'm really glad to be on that and hoping to have an effect on that. Also, there's the Oyo Hotel fire. So there was 3 fires in 7 days last week before. And that has been in a problem trying to get that hotel either refurbished or torn down for over 20 years. And it's a health hazard, a safety hazard, a fire hazard. It's been red tagged. But the owner is, I think, from India, and we finally got it into receivership, but the receiver is not willing to do anything about the property. So now it's, you kind of wonder what the end game is, because why would they want that shell of a place there? Why don't they just tear it down? So we're taking action, the city's taking action, hired an attorney who is going to try to push that it be demolished. And that should happen pretty soon, as far as the receivership to agree to demolish it. Also, the Opportunity Village fire, you know about that. Probably heard about that. 3 were completely burned down, the 4th one partially. No one was injured, except a dog was lost in the first one. They don't know how it started. No one was in the first unit. It was unoccupied. Luckily, no one was hurt, but they just went up like that. And they were supposed to be fairly non-flammable because the last one's burned down, and they assured us that the next ones wouldn't be that way, but there really wasn't too much of a difference. And so that's being looked into with the manufacturer too, because that was guaranteed, and obviously that didn't happen, so I don't know if they're going to be all replaced. But I've been assured that replacement will be done through insurance, not through anything through, the city coffers. Then the extension of Sun Lakes Boulevard. Sunset Crossroads is still in the CEQA planning stage, and that's the 10 warehouses to the east of Highland Home Road. And I had someone ask me, you know, oh, it looks like it's going to go through. And I think that, you know, originally it was always designated to be a road that went through to Sunset. However, for the conditions of approval with Sunset Crossroads do show that, or do request or require that trucks cannot go past Highland Home Road from Sunset. So they can come down Sunset, go into, if it gets built, go into the warehouses and go right back out to Sunset. They're not going to be allowed to go past Highland Home Road. And the other thing that I would push for as a city council person, if Banning Point were to go in, that the trucks from coming off Highland Springs can only go in at Sun Lakes Village Drive and back out, and cannot go down Sun Lakes Boulevard to Sunset. Because that's going to really impact, I mean, literally have trucks 24/7 in people's backyards. And so I'm definitely pushing that when that comes up, if it comes up. You probably know that the fountains are going to be started again, or at least being looked at being repaired, and that's a really good thing. Also, I attended a workshop, which is at the city council meeting. It was at 4 p.m., and it was for the possible annexation of the unincorporated Banning Bench area. And it was very well attended. It had very short notice. It's interesting because a lot of the people came to protest it, and they were saying to the city council, well, how dare you do this? And I'm like, I didn't know about it till you knew about it. You know, the city council, we didn't put it on the agenda. We didn't ask for that to be put on the agenda, and we weren't told about that till we get our packet on Thursday afternoon. So we saw it when everyone else saw it. So it was a good turnout. By far the majority of people do not want it. It's kind of similar to the way Banning Point was pushed through. They want to extend Sunset, make it a 4-lane road, make it a truck route going up to the bench. There's plans for that, and it would be a truck route. So one of the things that was very concerning to me is that in the packet it said, if annexation is approved, the parcels within the bench area will be rezoned under the city's municipal code, and any change to increase residential density or change residentially zoned parcels to either commercial or industrial must require both a general plan amendment, a zone change, and a development application. The city does not support a zone change without a complete development application, which requires significantly more investment than what is considered just a paper change on the map. So that was a big warning to me that, you know, they're trying to say, well, we'll give you more services, but really it's to develop that area. And because, you know, there are developers that would just love to develop that area up there, whether houses or industrial, commercial, and we as a council turned that down, that we are not going to pursue that. So that assured them. So that was a very good thing that we were able to turn that back. Another thing is there's coming up in November, there's going to be a statewide ballot. It was an initiative. They got 1,430,000 signatures. It's called the Taxpayer Protection and Government Accountability Act. And this is, what it does is it restores at the local level the ability, instead of having a 50% vote to raise your taxes or put special fees, it's going to take a 2/3 vote, how it used to be before Proposition 218 was pretty much gutted. And so this will be on the ballot then. It will also make sure that the property taxes that are collected in the county stay in that county, because that's very, very important. They get distributed all across the state, and some counties really lose out. You know, they get pennies to the dollar on what they put in for their property taxes. It would also require a 2/3 vote for statewide taxes that are passed by the legislature and all fees. So it's kind of putting everything back to the people again. And it would also prevent unelected boards and commissions from passing hidden taxes or fees without approval from elected officials or the voters. And so it's also holds them accountable and gives a time frame on how long the tax can be in effect. You know, these taxes get put in and then they never get sunsetted. Even if they have a sunset clause, they go on forever. So that's going to be enforced. So I think it's a good thing, but however, the city put out a resolution saying it was undemocratic, and they wanted us to vote to not support this. And luckily, Rick Menieris and myself voted against the resolution to not support it. The other 3 council members voted to support a resolution to not support this initiative. Just be aware of that because it will be coming up. And then as far as banning point, you know, I was with Pass Action Group and obviously opposed the warehouse. So if banning point comes back as for settlement possibility, or it comes back with a lawsuit where it goes back and they have to redo the project or redo the EIR, the question is, can I vote on that? Can I vote on any of that? And so I have, I directed the city attorney to request a formal advice letter from the FPPC, who is the Fair Political Practices Commission. And that's, I've been working on that for weeks with them to get that right, and that should go out in the next couple days. They have 21 days to get that back to me. Once that's in place, it covers me where if I were to vote on banning point and the developer said no, it's a conflict of interest, I could say no, I have the FPPC letter here. I can vote. And so far, everything shows that I don't have any issue at all. So. But it is good to have it in hand. I think that is it. I'd like to really encourage everyone to come to the city council meetings or watch them on TV. They're the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month. The next one is March 14th at 5 p.m. You can also ask the city to send you the agendas automatically, so you can read those. It's good to go through them, see if there's anything that concerns you. We really need the public, and we really need Sun Lakes to show up, not just necessary for things for Sun Lakes, but other issues like the banning bench. And then I would just like to encourage everyone to really get involved, and we can really make a difference if we all get involved. So if you have any questions for me.
Sherry, I would like to thank you for appearing today and for saying that you would like to be here each month. You'll be, whether you are able to attend or not, I know you're very busy. We will have you at the top of our agenda so that you can leave at any time, because I know your schedule is going to be full. And also, a belated congratulations on being our council member and from the Delegate Assembly.
Thank you very much.
Are there any questions? One here. Use your microphone, please, and identify yourself.
Linda Vieira, District 9. Did you say the meetings were the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays?
Yes. So the next one will be March 14th at 5 p.m. Sometimes there's a workshop that'll start at 4 p.m.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much.
Anything else?
Oh, what? You have one? I'm sorry.
I've asked Sherry to put together a little paragraph, more condensed than what she just announced today, that the delegates can add to their newsletters, because a lot of our residents get their information from the newsletters. And what she does with the city council is very important. So hopefully, Sherry, if you can send that to Joe or myself, then we can forward it to the other delegates, and they can include that in their newsletters as well.
Okay, yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
be doing that. Thanks.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you.
We had a communication from the absolutely. We had a communication from our Sun Lakes TV, Channel 97, and I'm going to read part of it. There are people who are sight impaired. They don't know if their delegate is speaking or not. They request that whenever a delegate or anyone speaks, that person give their name and their district. So we are going to follow that rule, please. And I will constantly remind you, reach for a microphone, identify yourself, and then either ask a question or you have something to say. Already I screwed up. I didn't remind our vice chair. But she should know better. All right. Let's get on now with our agenda, please. Approval of the February 2nd, 2023 District Delegate Assembly meeting minutes. May I have a motion, please? Motion to approve. Do I have a second? I have a second. Are there any corrections or any changes? If not, all those in favor of approval? Aye. Thank you. Our first report is our recreation report, and we have our Assistant General Manager, Jason Ewald, that will give it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Joe.
Jason.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just here to give you kind of a quick update on the Recreation Department, some of the upcoming events we have. To start it out, I will let you know we are in the process of recruiting for a new Recreation Director. Hope to have one soon, so please look for that update coming. With the Recreation Department, we have tomorrow night, we have our Swinging 60s concert. We do still have tickets available, so if that's something you want to come and check out, please do. We will also sell tickets at the door. Okay, so if you don't know until tomorrow night, that's fine. Stop on by, we'll sell you some tickets. The Spring Craft Show is next Saturday, the 11th. Remember, that starts at 9 a.m. We'll have all different crafts and little things in here for you guys to browse through. We will also have the bar open. There will also be some breakfast burritos, if I am correct. So if anybody wants some breakfast, you can come in and pay for a little breakfast burrito that's ready to go and grab that. So look forward to that on the 11th. Again, that starts at 9 a.m. and will end at 2. Once again, on the 8th, we have Silver Lining, so we have our travel presentation. So on the 8th, which is next Wednesday, I believe, at 1 p.m. in here, Silver Linings will be doing a travel presentation. The 2024 room reservations, we moved it to March 14th. You will turn your paperwork in at 3 p.m. The clubhouse doors will open at 6 a.m. There will be chairs for you to sit down in the bus room. Please do not come before 6 a.m. and line up outside. I would appreciate that. But the ballroom or the bus room will be open at 6. Come in and sit down at 10 o'clock. We will hand out numbers. Okay? So we just want to try to avoid people coming at midnight and camping out outside. So again, if you can hold off till 6 a.m., we would appreciate it. Some little changes. The concert series, the Sunday concert series, one that was scheduled for March 26th at the end of this month, it was a brassy spring afternoon. We will be rescheduling that. So just bear with us on the date there. Okay, so there will be a scheduled date change for that. Switchback concert, March 31st. That is going, getting everything planned and ready to go for that. So make sure to get your tickets. It's a very popular event, and I hope to have it sold out. Motown Madness, that's another one that changed. This was a scheduling conflict with the entertainer. It was originally scheduled for April 14th. It will move to May 26th. I know that's still a little time off, but you'll be getting more updates on that. But it did move to May 26th. Health Fair will be April 28th. Garage sales, remember those are going to be the first 3 weekends in May. Okay, so look at the lifestyles coming out. You'll be able to see what weekend your district will be on. Community shredding will be May 19th, again, right after tax season. So that's a great way to get rid of all those extra papers. We'll have it right out here in the parking lot as usual. And as you guys have known in the past, it's pretty much a drive-up service. You come up and we'll take care of it for you from there. With that, any questions? Yes, Dan.
Any update on the pickleball
Please
courts?
identify
So Dan
yourself,
Cosner,
Dan.
District 23. Yes, there is there is an update on pickleball courts. We are 2 weeks behind. Obviously, the storms that we have had for the past 2 weeks have delayed us for that. So we are 2 weeks behind, so we expect it to be finished by the 17th. Anything else? Thank you very much, you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
And do we have a report from the Food and Beverage Department? All right.
Is this on? Perfect, okay. Joe promised that I would be short and no comedy. So today we're going to do a presentation first. Thomas is going to do his portion, and then I'm going to just do a quick PowerPoint.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thomas Agnostopoulos, Director of Food and Beverage here at Sun Lakes Country Club. As we get into March, of course, happy March to everyone. Today's March the 2nd, so there's a lot happening in March. And I just want to reflect on pretty much the St. Patrick's Day celebrations, the March Madness that we have going on, and also the St. Patrick's Week. There will be specials going on throughout the week. So let's start with the March Madness. We have March Madness specials will start tomorrow throughout the month of March. They'll be in the bar and lounge. They are offered for $9.95. There are 3 different offerings that will include a domestic beer. And we have the first offering, and I'll kind of entice you from now. We have a boneless wings basket with fries. Of course, they can have it any way they like, hot, cold, plain, barbecue. We also have a mini flatbread pizza offered with either cheese or pepperoni, and that will come again with a beer. And then the final one is the pulled pork slider combo, which will have French fries as well and come with a beer. Those will be offered for $9.95, and they will be in the bar and lounge throughout the month of March, starting tomorrow. Keep that in mind. That's our March Madness special. St. Patrick's Day, we are almost sold out on tickets already for the buffet. There's a lot going on. Due to the sandwich being closed, we were hoping to have that part of the open as an extension to do seating, and unfortunately we will not. The sandwich will be closed starting after this Saturday. March 5th is the last day for the sandwich, and it will be closed for 4 to 6 weeks, again, depending on weather, for repairs. So we won't have that as an outlet to use, but we have to do this. It has to get done sooner or later, so we will do our very best. There will be a St. Patrick's buffet offered the evening of St. Patrick's Day, and that buffet is for $21.95. It's an all-you-can-eat. It has different Irish fare. It has offerings of corned beef and cabbage and Gaelic chicken and Irish soda bread, and he's also going to be doing shepherd's pie and bangers and mash. So there'll be a lot of different things on there. And we are close to selling out. Tickets are on sale at the restaurant. But for those that aren't interested or can't do the buffet, then remember, this ballroom will be set up for St. Patrick's Day with a live band and plenty of tables and chairs for everyone to come in, enjoy music, dancing. We'll have service in here as well. And we will have a limited menu that evening with some Irish offerings for those that want to just have a little app or a little something lighter than the all-you-can-eat buffet. So we have a lot going on that day. It does fall on a Friday, and with that said, there will be a special offered during the day at lunch as well. And that entire week, our Irish specials will start on Tuesday the 14th, and they'll extend all the way through Saturday the 18th. So there will be a different Irish special offered throughout the week, that week. So keep that in mind as well. But I did want to remind you about the sandwich closing. Breakfast will be offered in the restaurant at that time. So we will be opening at 8 a.m. like we are now, but again, the restaurant will be open for breakfast. There are some private parties and groups that had already planned to do things in the sandwich, and we are accommodating them by putting them in the restaurant and using the back half of the restaurant and pulling up pulling across the room divider where it creates some privacy and they can have that back half of the room for their little dinner meetings and whatever they're doing. So we're doing the best that we can so we can accommodate everyone. We are excited about the carpeting coming and all the wonderful things that are going on here in our facilities. I believe, I mean, that's what's happening with March and the drink specials. The Irish drink specials will start tomorrow, and they will be for the whole month of March. So look for that. There'll be menus, all kinds of fun things, Irish martinis, everything green beer. So we're excited to put that out and for all of you to partake in that. Any questions? Great. I know Mr. Mitchell's going to have a few things he wants to present to you regarding our department. And then moving forward, please also look forward to the Easter brunch, April the 9th here in the ballroom. It will be a spectacular brunch, as always, as Chef Chris does put on. So we're excited for that, and just excited to serve you all, and excited for spring to come and for the weather to warm up a little bit. So thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it. Chris?
So part of the presentation, thank you, is turn down the lights, is we will have Lord of the Dance, not Mr. Flatley, who used to do it, but Thomas will be doing his little dance. Quick feet, hopping up, where he's been working on the calves all winter. Okay, so I just want to give you guys an update, delegates, on what's been happening, some of the new changes that we're making based on some of the feedback we've received, some of the feedback from message to management, board, delegates. And so we're going to start on just a little presentation. So first, I did want to announce that we do have a new menu that will be rolling out late March. This will include a breakfast revamp, lunch revamp, dinner, lounge, happy hour menu, and a banquet menu. These are items that have been, as we've been working on some of this during the holidays, many of you know that the last quarter of the year is our busiest with banquets, events, holidays, and so now we've been able to bring the focus back onto the new menu that will be rolling out. So, some of the things, return of the Sun Lakes favorites. That will be the golfer, the Reuben, we have a list of them based on some of the sales mix report that we have. So we're going to bring some of those back. We're also going to allow substitutions. This is a lot of people put in the message to management that they were either confused that they couldn't get it, told they couldn't get it, and confusion could be on both sides. I'm not saying a member is confused, the staff member could be confused as well. Lori was championing this, I know, by saying, hey, I can't substitute fries for a salad, for some vegetables, for some rice, and so we want to make it easy on this, so we will allow substitutions. Also in a la carte items, this is another thing Lori brought up, is the egg. I just want one egg. One plain egg, please. So we're going to allow some of these a la carte items. There are people, and many in this room may be the one that I just want one piece of bacon and one egg. That's it. And before that, well, you have to have a meal, you have to order this. Again, then it creates frustration that the member's like, well, I can't get what I want. So we are going to be bringing that. That's definitely, so members, you just want something very simple, you'll have an a la carte menu that we're going to provide. Now, part of this new menu rollout is not only looking at the products that we can provide, again, being conscious of the price, portions, et cetera. One thing I want to remind the delegates is the last time we did some food pricing changes was May 2022. The last time we did liquor changes was August 2021. And I particularly remember that day because that was, we had a Representative Shannon who was here working in the restaurant, and there was just some chaos that occurred with that. So August 2021 will be a day in infamy for me because I remember that clearly. But as you can see, the world's prices have changed. Inflation, the price that you see at the grocery store, whether you're going to Walmart, Smart & Final, wherever, the prices are going up. So we are going to be adapting with that. Also, these menus will be able to, they're not going to be set in stone. So after 3 months, we look and say, I cannot provide I have to substitute for a New York strip to something else, whatever. we will be able to do that very quickly. Again, the name of the game now is being able to adapt quickly to an environment where costs are going up. Unpredictable supply chain. We've seen this with Cisco, US Foods, Crown Meats. One day they have it, next day they don't. And so even though, again, the pandemic is hopefully over, et cetera, we still have some supply chain issues. And so being able to adapt quickly instead of being rigid, same price, same thing, that's hurt us in the past. And again, the board has allowed us to be able to make some of these changes, and so look forward to that. So happy hours, another thing that the board has been receiving emails, and the message to management is more happy hours. And so we will, beginning March 15th, that Wednesday and Thursday, we will begin happy hours, Wednesdays and Thursdays, 3:30 to 6. So you can come down. We will have, one of the goals also is with Matt and the bar is to rotate some new specialty drinks, see what members like. I know it didn't go well with Matt trying to provide a substitute for Fireball. That went flaming bad, let's just say. Matt tried his best with his accent and everything to sweet talk the member to buy that substitute, but it did not work. So there's been also a distribution issue with Fireball, but that's a side story for later. But nonetheless, happy hours, 2 days a week, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to look at the reports, see how active or how the community is receiving it, and report that back, and then make changes as necessary. Maybe we need to expand it to another slow day. Maybe it's going to be a Sunday, possibly Tuesday. We're gonna evaluate, but right now we're expanding right now to 3:30 to 6. Another change that we've heard that I've received messages is Thomas and Joe, they're working the night shifts. They're closing. I and my club want to meet with somebody at 9 a.m. So we're going to be able to accommodate that. Letty, who many of you know, she's been with us for many years. She's the MOD. In her shift, Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 12, a member can call. I'd like to reserve a time to meet with Letty to book my club event. Women's club, men's club. They'll still be able to work with Thomas if they wish. But what this is more convenient to the members, and also since we're revamping the banquet menu, where really is you'll be able to choose what proteins, what other sides that you want, the starches, etc. And they're going to be the prices already fixed. There's no haggling. We have a mandate from the board of we have to meet some economic goals within the food and beverage operations. That means the days of the shrimp boat being $5, those days have sailed away, unfortunately. We have a mandate from the board, and so when you get this new layout of the banquet menu, you'll choose your different options. You know what your cost per person is. That is what it is. Now, if you want something extraordinary like lobster flown in from Greece, that's Thomas is going to have to take that. That's a charge that, of course, chef will work with you. But the basic, and what we've seen, the basic is I want a breakfast buffet, I want a lunch buffet. Women's Club is having an event in the Sandwedge, 40 people. The pitch putt play party. Ooh. See, that's why I'm not in charge of that. They will be able to easily coordinate with the representative between those hours. It should help them. And you don't even you can come in because Letty will already have a work that she's doing, so she'll be able to accommodate the members' requests. I think this will help not only with the banquets, but also with the members' frustration that they've expressed. Next, okay, I just want to go over some sales performance January, February 2022 and January, February 2023. Interesting, for 2022, we did 12,935 covers. That's how many people are coming in reporting on the point of sale system. In 2023, we've seen an increase, 16,772. That's an increase about 30%. That's good. We go then to the money, the sales per cover. That actually only went up 3%. 1481 in 2022, 1527 in 2023. So one of the things we need to work on is, again, the pricing, our offerings. They may be coming in and just buying a drink. We have seen lounge improve. Another thing that we've seen, another trend, I want to go to the next slide, and this is small, I'm sorry, delegates, but so I'm going to read it to you, This is the most active hours in the restaurant and lounge. In 2023, almost 85% of the sales occur from 11 to 7. I'll email this, Ms. Doherty, so that you can have this for the delegates. You don't need to take pictures. Don't waste your film. I'll send it to you guys. Don't waste the space too. Yeah, the iCloud is expensive. 11 to 7 is 85% of our sales in 2023. The biggest time of day that we have, or the biggest hour of the day, 5 to 6 p.m., attributed to roughly 19% of our sales. So we're seeing the membership. 11 to 7 is the biggest time in the lounge and in the restaurant. Go back last year, 2022. It's about 84.7. Again, roughly 85%. Same time, 11 to 7. 5 to 6 was the hour that most people attended, attributed to about 18% of sales. So I decided for fun, giggles and that sorts, go back to 2017. 2017, 71% of the sales occurred 11 to 7. But the biggest hour of the day for sales was 12 to 1, which accounted for about 14.1% of sales. So what we're seeing is, and what we've seen since the return of COVID, a very social membership. They want to have fun, party, as Linda said, the pitch putt party. They're having dinner, they're having lunches, breakfast has been on a decline. And after 7, sales start declining. That's the average for the year. So this is, again, something that we need to be able to evaluate the trends and adapt quickly to be successful. And with that, that completes my report. I look forward to coming back to the delegates to provide more information. Also, just a quick thing, new menus, as I said, late March, later this month. We already have some drafts. We are just fine-tuning, but it's a nice little booklet of the new menu. I think you'll be pleased. Chef Chris has been working on this. There were some things that he wanted to try. We're going to rein that back in. We're not ready for that next step yet, but he's been working on that, and so we will be presenting this very shortly. It was really just a report, not a Q&A, but I'll take Q&A.
Linda Vieira, District 9. I would like to commend Thomas and Chef Chris for being so accommodating to anybody who has any kind of physical needs. They will gladly accommodate any gluten-free, lactose-free, soy-free, or any specific problems that anybody has. Chef Chris said that any meal can be made to accommodate members, and I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Linda, that's a true statement, and that's been a theme that we've always tried to do, is be able to accommodate the members. Chef is working with me on a no-carb meal, so we hopefully will roll that out too. Yeah, water. That's it. For me, it's coffee, so we'll go with that. Okay, thank you, and I'll give admin updates during my turn. Thank you, Joe.
You can see not only the food and beverage staff is working for us, but the administration is really digging deep, trying to get some answers as to what's going to help us handle this food and beverage operation. Thank you, Chris. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the charitable trust, and David is not feeling well. He's not going to show today, so we'll have David on next month. And the next is the EPA, I'm sorry, EPA report. Candace, whatever you want to call yourself.
Good afternoon. I'm Candace Jenkins with EPAP. And on March 13th, which is Monday, Clark Botha, the pharmacist from Highland Springs, will be having a talk in the dining room. And the reason we did that is we were going to recarpet, then that got changed, and it didn't work with his schedule. So we just left it that it would be on March 13th in the dining room. It will be at 10:30 in the morning till noon. He will talk about how you can accumulate a supply of medications for an emergency. And Steve pointed out that you can't call your insurance and ask them to give you a 7-day supply. He's going to talk about how you can order a little bit early, and through that early order process, be able to save some medications for your to-go bag. He'll also be talking about some changes that have been happening with Medicare D for this year. We have selected the generator. We are in the process of filling out the appropriate paperwork to get it ordered so that we will be able to install it. I don't know when that is going to happen, but I'm hoping within the next 2 months we'll have it and it will be installed here in the electric room. We are going to start developing a training system for all of the EPAP volunteers. And we'll do this on an individual basis. So we'll do an overview of EPAP, what it is, what our mission is, how we want to accomplish our goals, and then individually have information related to the district delegate and what is their role for EPAP, and the EPAP coordinator, what is their role and what are their job duties. We'll be starting to work on that probably in April. I think it's going to take us several months to be able to develop these training modules. If any of you are interested in helping us in developing those, just give EPAP a call or email us and let us know. Thank you.
Any questions? Go ahead, Janice. Identify yourself, please.
Janice Rice, but this time I'm going to be as the EPAP PIO, District 13 as well. These papers that you guys have in front of you, they're not for your newsletters at this time. I'm going to be working on something that's going to be a little bit more for the group, for your residents, with more of a questionnaire on it. So this is just for your information. Some of you got them in an email. That's just what's going on about the training. So you do not have to, please don't include this in your newsletter. I will have something to Jason for the April newsletters. Thank you.
Very good, Janice. Send it on. Go ahead.
Linda Vieira, District 9. What is the email for you, Candace?
EPAP@sunlakescc.com.
Okay. Any others? Thank you, Candace. Thank you for the report. I'm sorry for a flub at the beginning. That's what I get for trying to do 2 or 3 things here. The next on our agenda is the Welcome Home Report. I know that due to the passing of Sandy Richmond, the organization has to have pretty much of a reorganization. We do have Cheryl Chapman and Michelle Walter, who have joined together, and they will be a marvelous team shepherding the Welcome Home program. Please.
Thank you, Joe. I am Cheryl Chapman, and I did co-chair Welcome Home with Sandy for many years, and she was a joy to work with, as you know. So now Michelle and I are co-chairing the committee, and I wanted to go over just a little bit of the log. I don't know if any of you have yours with you, but there's an opt-out column, and when it says WHC, that's Welcome Home. So that resident has been asked if they want to be involved in Welcome Home. I don't know if they know what it is, but they have opted out, so that person does not get called. The same, there's one here that says a caregiver. Well, that caregiver has moved in with these people, and they would not get called either. So, already owned in the community. They've just changed residences. They don't get called either because they're already familiar with Sun Lakes and what goes on. So if you have any questions, you can call me, but be sure and read it completely before you start making your calls. And March 23rd is on the calendar for the next Welcome Home. And it'll be, we start at 5 o'clock and dinner is served. I don't want you to go home and start calling today because people forget. They don't all live by a calendar. So our suggestion was like 2 weeks at the most, or even 10 days. And I wanted to commend the delegates for your wonderful work last time. It was fantastic and saved us hours. So if you will get your people that are coming to me by Monday, March, it must be the 19th? March 19th by noon, because I will get it to Thomas that afternoon. So,
How about March 20th on
March 20th?
Monday?
Okay, whatever, Monday by noon. But if you want to call me on Sunday, that's okay. And we have now gotten the email bug fixed, I think. A few of you had emailed me and I didn't get it. So if I don't answer you and say thank you, then pursue me, because that means my mailbox is not taking you, or my Earthlink. We're going to try and see if we can schedule these for the third Thursday for the rest of the year. Like, we'll have, this one is March 23rd. The next one will be June, whatever the third Thursday is, April, May, June, and then July, August, and then September will be one. And that will be the end of the 2023, because we'll start in January with the new one, which leaves, you know, November and December are busy, and the work's perfect. So we'll play catch-up this month. We're going to do November, December, and January. And then when we meet in March, we'll do February and March. Is that right? Let's see, the March, April. When we meet in June, then we will do February, April, and May, because people are really busy moving in. You know, they say, oh, we got all this work to do. I don't know if we can make it. So that gives them a month to get settled. And, oh,
Cheryl,
yes.
Is this going to be held? Oh. Dolores Doherty.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Dolores Doherty, District 4.
Uh-huh.
Is that going to be in the ballroom or in the sandwich like we've always had
It's
it?
going to be here in the
Okay.
ballroom.
Thank you.
And instead of, you know, they got their goodie bags, we're going to have representatives from different organizations will be here with their information. And I think it's more of a personal touch that maybe it'll, go ahead.
Raylene Kretschmann, District 7.
You are going to put together some new rules. Would you send them to me so I can disperse them to the delegates?
Yes, Michelle's going to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Joe, just a point of order.
But Raylene, did you have a question?
Yes. Are you going to set out the listing of the names, or are we supposed to get it off
No.
the welcome home?
You'll have to take it off of your log
Okay.
Okay,
for
would
your
you,
district, and we are now listing them in order. of
Would
the
you
districts,
send me
District 1,
copies?
District 7.
would you send me copies of the months so that I can disperse them to the delegates?
They all get them in their email, don't
I
they?
know they do,
Oh,
but
but you
you're
wanna give
not,
it to
I'm
them
not
again.
sure that all of the districts have kept them.
Okay,
Okay, please, so we'll cover all bases that
I
way.
got it.
Chris?
Just a point of order. So you did mention organizations, and I don't want everyone to think, oh my God, there's going to be outside organizations coming in here. The organizations, were you going to talk about that, Michelle? Oh, then I'm going to be quiet and let the presentation continue.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon, delegates. Michelle Walter. Okay, so there's going to be a few changes, delegates. What we're going to be doing, and you'll be getting an email, and I'm going to let Joe know all this. Dolores and Joe have approved this already. So the dinners are going to be for the delegates only. No spouses are going to be allowed. This is for the delegates to get to know their residents. So if the delegate can't make it, then their alternate can make it. But the alternate cannot come along with the delegate. Only the delegate will come to the dinner. We will no longer be having wine. It is very expensive, and we really don't want our residents getting intoxicated at this event. So we will have lemonade and iced tea there. It will help cut down on the costs. We will be getting, be discontinuing the bags that you get. We are going to have something else that you'll be able to give them. But now you're going to be getting, they'll be getting a $10 gift card. That's going to be so that they can come and use it in the restaurant. They can use it in the pro shop. That way, we're getting them involved here in the sandwich or the lounge or the restaurant. Let's see, what else? No alcohol. So when we were talking about, we're going to have the clubs and groups. Some of the clubs and the groups come in here so that they can show whether it's a quilting club, whether it's a tennis club, or whether it's ping pong. So that way you'll be able to, those residents will be able to see what we have here. And I think it'll be more intimate. It'll be more that they can go and talk to these people instead of just sitting at the table. They'll be able to go around to these particular clubs and groups and get information. So we'll try and have different groups come in each month, or each quarter, right? Each quarter, and give maybe 10, 15 minutes of their time to go up there and get to know each of these clubs and what they have to offer. Does anybody have any questions on any of this so far? Joe will be getting the new rules, and I hate to call them rules, just the new ideas that we have. And I think this is really to help save money so that the master board and the association is not paying for all these drinks for people to keep drinking and drinking. So I think it'll work out really well. Any questions?
Very good.
No? Okay, thank you.
I think it's very nice indeed. Thank you for the presentation.
I just wanted to make a note, it's like anything. You don't realize how much things cost till you start getting it together. Well, it's at least $2,000 every time we have a welcome home. Alcohol will take a big chunk of that out. The bags will take some out. So between the food costs, when we started, it was $8 a plate. Now it's 16. Makes a big difference in the total. So that's one reason we're trying to economize. Yes, Linda?
Thank you, Cheryl. Go ahead. One more.
Linda Vieira, District 9. Those wonderful bags that you used to give out, are they able, can one purchase that in the pro shop?
They can be purchased in the pro shop.
Okay. Okay, in occasions like this, when a meal is served, how does a person who wants a special meal, does that person speak to you?
No, they should actually tell the delegate when they get their phone call. And if that person, because we have had it occasionally where they absolutely could not do anything on the menu, yes, that we were serving the pasta.
How about the delegate?
The kitchen would supply them with a special meal.
So we tell you?
Yes, once
Okay.
you,
Get the,
when your resident
Right.
tells you that I can't help, I'm a vegan. Well, we have vegan pasta, so, or the vegetarian. But if it's a real strict something that they can't eat, we're happy to try and accommodate.
and then we
Thomas
should
is
tell
good
you
about it.
when we tell
You
you.
tell me when you
Okay.
tell me that person's coming.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it gives us a nice update. Appreciate it. Next item on our agenda is the Restaurant and Lounge Committee report. And we have Sharon Robinson, please.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you, Joe, for allowing me to come and speak. And I gotta say, Chris, I loved the PowerPoint presentation, and I'm sure many in the community are gonna be excited to see the changes with the addition of the favorites back. And that was one of the things the Restaurant and Lounge Committee received as part of our restaurant survey program. That came from a lot of those feedbacks from the community, and I bet they're happy to see that their voice was heard and that those changes are occurring. So yay, thank you. I wanted to present to you a marketing campaign that we have been doing now for several months, in hopes that the district delegates will be able to include it in their newsletter. As was mentioned earlier, your newsletter is one of the things that we know makes it to the community. You have such a power in your voice as district delegates in getting that information out. Well, our restaurant needs the community's support. We need to increase that participation, and the Restaurant and Lounge Committee wants to help any way we can with that. So we write this paragraph each month, hoping that you'll include it in your newsletters so that the community can hear it and see it. So I'll read this month's. It says, repairs being done, but we're still open. With the age of our property and the usage the facilities receive on a regular basis, repairs are inevitable. Even during these repairs, though, the restaurant and lounge will be open. Service times and locations may be impacted, so be sure to check ahead of time. The lounge will now have 2 weekly happy hours for you on both Wednesday and Thursday. And you can order off the happy hour menu, which features special food prices and drink pricing. So come on out and enjoy. You can check out the menus available online at www.sunlakecc.com. If you have any suggestions, compliments, or comments, and even your critiques, you are encouraged to give your feedback by dropping a note in the message to management box at the receptionist desk or in the main clubhouse or online. So another plug for that. Great way to get your feedback and your voice be heard. So if I'm going to just pass this around to the delegates, and if you have room in your delegate newsletter and would be as kind to include it, we would really appreciate it. Again, it's a great service for the community. Thank you. Question?
Go ahead, Raylene.
Raylene Kretschmann, District 7. So the little paper you're handing out is everything that they just told us about that's in the lifestyles, right? Because we have limited space that we're allowed to put in our newsletters. Yeah. But my question is, it's the same information as in the lifestyles?
I don't know. I don't get to edit the lifestyles. So I don't know for sure.
The information that she's giving us about the different things that going on in the restaurant are the same things that already are published in the lifestyles by...
It may be under their committee, under the Restaurant Lounge Committee they put it. There will be some items that we're putting as part of food and beverage to update that in lifestyles. So lifestyles will be used. They'll be either in Restaurant Lounge Committee update or in the food and beverage side.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Thank you
Joe.
for your
Chris
question.
Mitchell, convict number.
Thanks for the clarification, Chris.
Yes.
Sure.
Any other questions? Yes.
Go ahead.
Ann Hofer, District 12. You're handing out that information for us?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you so
report.
much.
We sure appreciate it, Sharon. Okay, the next item on our agenda is just there for maybe any comments that any of you may want to make in regards to our workshop last Thursday. I think it went extremely well. Reported to everyone what was said and done. So are there any comments or any questions in regards to what happened? No? Okay. The next item is the announcements from the Board of Directors.
Thank you, Joe.
President?
Yes, before we begin, I wanted to thank Joe, Dolores, Linda, and all the members of the Delegate Assembly for the excellent job and running the forum that we had yesterday. That was awesome, and thank you again for that, for the time and getting the information out for the the 5 candidates. This week, instead of Beverly, I'm going to have Lori with me, and she's going to help me go over the announcements that are going to be attached to your newsletter. Here we go.
Thank you. Lori Hazelton. There are 5 candidates running for 3 open positions on the master board. The top 2 candidates will serve a 2-year term, and the third will serve a 1-year term. The votes will be tabulated on April 12th. The candidates are Gary Burkle, Lori Hazelton, Howard Katz, Sharon Robinson, and Beverly Simmons. As you all know, the Banning City Council voted on February 14th to change their level 2 water restrictions, which will now allow Sun Lakes to turn on our beautiful waterfalls. The problem is that we can't just flip a switch and turn them back on. They have been inoperable for 9 months and are in need of repairs. We will keep you posted as to the costs and tentative date for turning on our waterfalls. The board is conducting a survey to obtain membership input on 2 important issues: a dog park and the proposed lounge expansion. The results from the survey and the recommendations from our ad hoc dog park committee will be available next month. The board is in the process of developing a Sun Lakes master plan. A request for proposal has been sent out in order to select the best qualified consultant to assist in the development and implementation of our strategic master plan, also known as the MPI. And the carpet for our ballroom has been delayed again. It is, however, currently scheduled for installation on March 25th, sorry. I wrote down April. You told me March. Okay, and so we're certainly looking forward to that, and we do apologize for any inconvenience. These delays are basically a result of manufacturing errors from Shaw Manufacturing in Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you. The common area landscape maintenance service contract, the one we have with artistic maintenance, we're sending out some RFPs to consider other options. I believe they're going to do a walkthrough next week in reference, or 13th in reference to that. Nothing against artistic maintenance. We may even select them again, but it's good to compete and look and see what's out there, because we've had the same landscaping company for forever. You know, so we want to see what else is available and get the best cost. We're doing that with all our major contracts, by the way. Listening sessions that will continue to be held the first Monday, 3:30 in the Sandwich. They've been doing an excellent job of getting feedback from our membership. Let me finish, and then you can ask the questions if you don't mind. Okay. Yes, always in the Sandwich. Now, if the Sandwich is being repaired, the roof is repaired, we'll change the location. But they're scheduled always, the first Monday, 3:30. There may be a change due to, it could go to a restaurant. Thank you. The board approved emergency repair project for the replacement of the roofs on both the Sandwich and the ballroom. With all the rain, we've discovered we have some leakage problems, and we have to take immediate remedies for that. A Sandwich roof will cost $59,800, and the ballroom roof will cost $65,000. Both of them have been approved by the board. The Sandwich will be out of operation, as you've been told, for 4 to 6 weeks as a result of the roof repair. Weather permitting, the conversion of the north tennis courts to a pickleball complex will be completed this month. Looking forward to that. So come check out our new permanent courts with upgraded shades, a refrigerator for your waters and drinks, and it's going to be state-of-the-art, one of the best pickleball complexes around. So we're really looking forward to that. And last but not least, the Community Awareness Program is presenting a Banning Business Expo, April the 4th. Here in our ballroom is going to be from 5 to 8. We'll be hosting the various businesses from the city of Banning, trying to get a better interaction and relationship and better support from the entire city of Banning, as far as projects dealing with the city council. We've been isolated somewhat in the past, and we're trying to change that. The other thing, in reference to what Sherry was talking about, the Riverside County Transportation Commission, David Lewis is the manager. We're going to be having him come later this year, in about 2 or 3 months, and present the entire interchange project to you, so you'll be totally aware of what's happening with the Highland Springs interchange. It's good news. The bad news is, in discussing with him the other night, he said it's going to scheduled to begin 2027. So just to let you know, the securing of the local, state, or federal funding is still not secured yet. So it's supposed to start in 4 years. But he may be able to give you information on other projects which are also pending. But that's the main one that we're interested in. But he'll be here to make a presentation to us and answer any questions we may have. Any questions? Linda? Thank you.
Administration, Chris, do you have any comments?
Sure, and instead of where I would say, well, the board has said this or that, I'm just going to say it again to reiterate the point. So, sand wedge roof, as I've talked about at the open session, that renovation is scheduled to occur the March 5th, again, depending on the weather. The original skylights need to be removed and the structure needs repair, and so this is beyond what the normal replacement. There's going to be a complete renovation anew, and that's why capital improvement funding is being used. It will be a closed ceiling. Now, as a reminder, again, Thomas has talked about it, the board's talked about it. Breakfast will still be served just in the restaurant, 8 to 11 Tuesday through Saturday. The ballroom and the bathroom carpet. Again, we know that we've given updates in the past. The manufacturer hasn't come through, but they have said it's on the truck getting loaded. It machined fine. So again, we're pretty confident that the 25th, because if we can't do it the 25th, April is just a busy month with a lot of stuff going on, and we can't keep moving our clubs, events, and everything. It kind of gets, again, the membership gets upset. So please be patient, but we're looking at the 25th, what Lori had talked about. Pickleball courts, we're looking actually the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, so you'll go play in the pickleball courts. Right? I think Jason then will come over, have some green beer, etc. The renovation bunkers still going on. Now, another project that's been affected by the weather. And so we're still working on holes 1 through 9. Again, as a reminder, this is going to work on holes 1 through 9, taking everything out, redoing the drainage, putting in a liner in it to help with that, and then the sand, similar to what we did on the greens bunkers. I know a couple of delegates, and I know several members have reached out to me saying, hey, I live on the fairway, and when are you getting this done? And so we are working on that now, where we thought we were going to be done in April. This may go into May, and so that's one of the problems. The T-box cart paths are still being worked on. We have the lounge display boards still up there. Also, just as a reminder, we are getting the quotes for the Gate 1 and Gate 2 rebuilds. The board is tasked First Service staff to get that quickly, and we are working on that. Mark Schleiden is actually working with his team to get that. So there are a lot of projects going on from roofs. The main clubhouse roof is started now, today, and then again, the sand wedge is on the 5th. You might say, well, Chris, you told me on the admin update or coffee with the GM, it was a 1 month. Now I'm hearing 4 to 6 weeks. This is a different year than we had last year. Last year, many of you might remember March. You were probably at the pool mid-March enjoying because it was very hot. Probably going to be different this year. That's why now we have to take into account weather and the impact on our projects. As you know, Carlo Kasich is no longer with us. We are actively recruiting, as Jason said. I know you guys enjoy seeing Jason at Recreation, but he wants to get back to his AGM duties, and so do I. So we are close. There are a couple of great candidates. We hope to have one come to the board to meet with them on the 8th. So that is another big thing, and delegates really need your help on this, is getting the message out to your members regarding dogs on a leash. If you watch the coffee with the GM, and I think Mike Romero also did a video on Good Day Sun Lakes, that the enforcement of that rule is being actively enforced beginning the 27th of February. It started. And these will go right to violation with the safety committee. And so please make sure. I know we want to let the dogs run free, but we've got to put a leash on them, because we've now had complaints from members who are having trouble walking. They see a big German Shepherd or whatever running toward them. Even poodles jumping up throws the person off balance. They could fall, get hurt. And so asking that you please remind your individual district members, leash law, please. And it's also California law, but it's also in the rules and regulations. And with that, again, we are still working on getting that popcorn machine. I'm hoping, Jay, when do we think we're going to get it? Hopefully next week, so we should have it at the open board meeting. And then, Joe, I know you want it for the delegates meeting. We will get it back.
Thank you. Thank you for the report, Chris. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Linda, please.
Linda Spalding, District 19. Chris, in regards to the dogs, are you doing anything with people who are running their dog alongside of the golf cart inside on our streets?
I was going to say something funny, but I can't because Joe said no jokes. So there was a line there, softball was perfect, but right now they're not focused on that. The focus is on unleashed dogs. That's the focus.
That will be down the line, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dan? Please identify yourself. Would you get closer to the mic?
Put it right in front of your mouth. There. There you go.
It's not on.
Oh, it's not on, Dan.
Dan Cosner, District 23.
I still can't hear you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Has there been a decision made whether to replace the pumps in the fountains with used or new?
Well, no. Right now they are evaluating new or rebuilt, and they're evaluating that. Hope to give the board some updates on the 8th. As you might know, or maybe you don't know, the board likes to get 3 quotes. If it's an emergency item, they ask to proceed, and then we'll update the Procurement Advisory Committee. But we're trying to get quotes for the different options of new or rebuilt. Also, the board has to take into account of, do I put in new with the possibility 2 years from now that there may be an impact if for the warehouse were to go through, or if we have to change the lanes, the structure of the gates. So there's several things that they're taking into account. But they are excited again that the city told us that the council changed their rule and to allow for the fountains, and so we're racing as fast as we can to get those back up. More to come, though. Good question.
Thank you, Chris. Any other questions? Okay. Delegates, comments, please. Dan, you want to start? District 23.
Dan Cosner, District 23, no comment.
Mike Bowles, District 22. I have one comment regarding continuing maintenance like on the South Clubhouse. And I'm not certain who I contact on that. So we had the floor and the building repainted and redone like then a couple years ago, I believe. And I use this indoor swimming pool frequently, and I'm noticing that the flooring is coming up kind of extensively. I'm sure we still have a warranty on it. And if I could be given some advice on who to contact and go over it with, I would be happy.
Mike,
I would contact.
Can I just interject
Go
if
ahead.
I could? And thank you, Mike. You gave me a softball I forgot to mention. Board is also considering the dehumidifier, the desert air system that's down in the South Clubhouse. That's the original system. You'll notice there's a lot of water accumulating on the windowsills, starting to go in and onto the decking. And so we are looking at that. The decking, we're looking at the spas, possibly doing the spa at the south and the north, replastering that. Look at the deck on the north. The south, the priority is going to be change out or replace the desert air unit and then do the decking. Because right now, if you do the decking before, without fixing that dehumidifier, you're going to run into the same problems where you just wear it down. The board has been advised, using the better business judgment from experts, have said you need to replace that, and then you start working on replastering the pool, the decking. But if there's a specific issue, just reach out to either Jason, myself, or Mark Schleiden. So if there's like a big crack or a pothole in the pool, let us know, please. Mark Schleiden, over in operation. Everyone knows Mark. Oh, and now he bailed. Wow, okay. Well, Mike, you got him.
Go ahead, Cal.
Cal Martin, District 21, no comment.
Barbara Luna, District 20, no comment.
Linda Spalding, District 19, always a comment. I'd like to first announce that Pitch, Putt, and Party will start March 7th at 3 o'clock in the North Pro Shop. The sign-up sheet is already up there, and hopefully we will not have a blizzard. Number 2, Chris, just a question, and did you notify EPAP about the main clubhouse roof because they have antennas up there and those need to be handled?
I'm sure Mike will be reaching out to Mr. Spalding and the EPAP team, but.
Jason is nodding
Oh.
and doing strange movements.
Wait, pulling the strings. So. Oh, wait, don't get Joe mad, don't get.
I spoke with Dick and talked to him, and I talked to Mark Schleit. We talked to the contractor, or the vendor. They're well aware of the antennas up there.
I just was not asked to bring that up, but I thought I might. And then my last comment is there any other delegate concerned about the master plan initiative? They are meeting with committee chairs and not the elected delegate assembly. Why are the consultants being introduced by a select group of committee chairs, which the master board, which my understanding, the master board has asked them to do, bypassing the delegate assembly, which represent the homeowners? Comment, I just want to put it out there because I think there are things going on that we are not being aware of.
Well, we are being aware of what the meetings that we've had so far have been with the chairperson and the vice chair of the delegate assembly, and the chairperson and the vice chair will disseminate information to the delegate assembly as soon as we have complete information. There is a meeting on the 11th, I believe, of March, having to do with possibly a contractor, and at that time then a report will be sent to the delegate assembly. Okay? And at that time, there are some key advisory groups which are appointed by the board of directors and work with the board of directors that have been invited to the exposition of the master plan. So at the moment, am I saying that right, Bob? I think so far. So we've been up to date so far. There hasn't been a great deal of information coming, but there will be next week.
Now, if you would like to have that group make a presentation to the entire district delegate membership, that's up to you. You know, but
They did. The
Okay.
MPI did, the 3 men did make a presentation at our workshop.
Okay.
And they spent 15 or 20
Okay,
minutes there
I
answering.
wasn't
And I
present.
think they answered all the questions at that time.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
Nita Cook, District 17. I don't think that things were explained to everyone, not to my satisfaction anyway, as far as that's concerned. I think that they talk about the key stakeholders, or whatever they call themselves. I think the key stakeholders at Sun Lakes are every single homeowner that lives here, and I think that they should at least let us know a little bit about the people that they're interviewing and they're deciding to spend our money with. So that's my comment.
I understand that, but I don't think that the board would want either the entire delegate assembly or even a majority of our community to be on every interview of every contractor. I think they have to settle what they are doing first and what direction they're taking, and then they will let us know. At that particular time, if we don't like it, we let them know, and then that's the end of the program, I would assume. Okay? Rayleigh?
Ronell English, District 16, no comment.
Judy Crail, District 15. I just had one question on the voting coming up April for the HOA. Does it one per household or does both vote? One per household, one vote? Okay.
Each owner, it's not a household, it's not a resident if the resident happens to be a renter. Each homeowner, I'll repeat, has one vote. There are only 3,327 votes in our community, and that's how many homes we have here. Okay?
All right, thank you. That's all I had.
Janice?
Janice Rice, District 13. No comment.
Ann Hofert, District 12, no comment.
Linda Vieira, District 9. I agree with Linda Spalding and Nita Cook, perhaps because I just became a delegate. This master plan initiative is totally new to me, and I don't know what you're talking about it. I don't know how I missed it, but I don't know what it is. And I felt that at the district workshop that we had, there were so many people talking at our table about it while people were, while they were giving their presentation, that it went right over my head. So I personally would like to know what the heck it's all about.
What I will do is I will send to you any of the information that I have received on my computer, which are the resumes of the meetings they've had so far. Okay? Anyone? In fact, I'll send them to everybody as a confirmation of what has been transpired up to this date. Really?
Joe?
Yes, Janice.
Janice Rice, District 13. Will you please include the alternate delegates on that? Because we don't always get stuff, and like today, I'm covering from Jeannie, and I'm not always getting input.
I definitely, anything that I send out, I will start, if I haven't done so far, send it to not only the delegates, but the alternate delegates. Go ahead, Brenda.
Raineen Kretschmann, District 7. I have a question that's been brought to me by my district. I'm on where Bermuda Dunes and turns and goes down Bay Hill, and it's a huge long strip. They want to know what we need to do and how we go about requesting a couple speed bumps.
The idea in the past has been to contact the safety committee, and they will look into it or investigate it and will tell you their findings.
Raylene, great question, because the safety committee is also looking at lighted crosswalks and stop signs that light up. So they're right now evaluating that. So if you could get that quickly to the chairperson, or if you just want to send it to Jason, myself, and we'll send it on to the chairperson, that would be fine, because they can also evaluate that.
Thank you.
Nance?
Yes, the safety assessment's being done by the Safety Advisory Committee.
Nancy Murray, 6, nothing.
Dave Miller, District 5, no comment.
Jim Nickel, District 3. I have a few comments. I would like to thank Michelle for putting on the community awareness. I think it's a great program, and it's super informative. So good job on that. And also the board member that forum that was yesterday was excellent. And they brought up a lot of topics that covered every aspect of our community. And most I've seen in the whole time I've lived here. So just it was done great. Everybody was, did you lose me? Died. I'm back. I just thought it was done very well, and it addressed everything. So great job, and it's certainly keeping our community aware. Thank you. And for also for the future. I wanted to ask Chris about the parking lots. People in my community, all those parking areas where they're chopped up, there's no lines. I haven't heard any plan on when we're going to resurface and restripe. And also the stop signs that are actually on the ground, they're so faded. So is there a time frame on that?
So we do, and that's actually another great question. So we can give an update on the road project. We have a pavement management plan over the 5 years touching the roads, every road within the community. And so there is a plan. We're also getting quotes because that has been a complaint we received, is that in all the parking lots that the striping is fading or non-existent. And so the board will be evaluating those quotes shortly. We're seeking those right now, but to address the parking lots, to address some of the areas, and I would say if there's any in your district that we miss, please let me know, let Mark Schleider know, email me, just say, hey, there's a limit line missing, or there's a stop sign, stop is not clear. Let us know, because we can always, those are quick fixes. We call a contractor out and they paint it. And right now, again, because of what happened at South Clubhouse, we want to be on this very quickly. So if you just let me know, or in your districts, if anything in your district that you see needs to be addressed, and I will give a report at the next delegates of what pavement management plan has for this year coming up.
Thank you, Chris. I had another, I was down in Palm Springs during the snow the other day, not by choice, and I see stop signs with those red flashing lights, because there's been a lot of controversy about people not stopping at the stop sign.
We're looking at that.
Is that an option?
That is. That was actually one that we were going to look at before. Now the Safety Advisory Committee is doing that under their safety assessment. We have the pricing on it. Now they're identifying areas that we want to put. Board is actively working on this right now.
Great, thank you so much. My last issue is we had a President's Day pizza party at the South Clubhouse. 50 people attended. The theme was wonderful. Learned a lot more about our presidents, so we kept the theme going. So, and that's all I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Priscilla, a returnee.
Priscilla Jazzcart, District 2 alternate, no comment.
Barb?
Barbara Elnes, District 1. I just have a clarification I'd like on the leash rules. If someone has a dog in their front yard without a leash, they have to have a leash on?
It's private property. I'm more concerned about the common areas where we're seeing them in the park, walking on the streets. That is our focus, not in your yard.
Thank you.
A great question. Thank you.
Okay. District 4?
Thank you. Dolores Doherty, District 4. Two things. If you haven't turned in the surveys for the dog park and the lounge extension, now would be a good time. And then I wanted to add to what Jim was talking about the candidate forum yesterday. They did very well. All the candidates did a very good job. The questions that were submitted were excellent and right to the point, and the candidates did a great job answering. If you are not able to be there, if you're watching on Channel 97, they are the newer candidates. The three that are new are going to be having their Meet the Candidates sessions, and it would be a good idea if you make a point to go to these, because this is a place where you can ask them questions and they will, answer them.
Yes, if you don't mind me adding on that, actually all 5 candidates are having various open sessions that you can come to and learn more. Thank you.
Joe,
Yes.
I have one more question. Over here. It's Judy.
Over here. All right. Go ahead,
I
please.
don't have a question, I'm sorry. Judy Crail, District 15. I don't know if all of you are aware of it or not, but in my district, a gentleman was hit by a car. And so wanted to let you know that when you are out walking, use the sidewalk side, or at least tell our people that they should. He was in front of his house. He's in bad shape. Don Tenier, I think probably a lot of you know him. Yeah, I know he got home Monday. He was he was taken to Loma Linda. Anyway, his pelvis bones were shattered and the left side was broken. He's now, like I said, home, but he is in a lot of pain and a lot of trouble. So everybody be aware, because people aren't looking out for the walkers either. So, you know, he could use your prayers right now, 'cause he's having a tough
Okay,
time.
Thank you, Judy. One comment I'd like to make, as all or most of you knew, that Sandy Richmond passed away a while back. There will be a memorial for her on Sunday the 5th at 3 to 6 o'clock here in the ballroom. I know that everyone is welcome. I know that many of us have worked with her, and she was a nice lady. We will miss her. Are there any other comments? How about our membership? Please use the microphone and identify yourself. Thank you.
Oh, there's a bunch of us. Good thing it's only 3 minutes. Michelle Walter, Community Awareness Program Coordinator. I just wanted to remind everybody that this Tuesday, March 7th, in the main ballroom here, from 1 to 3, we are having our disaster preparedness presentation, Be Red Cross Ready. I have a different presenter. This particular gentleman, Gerald Winkle, was injured and fractured his back in an automobile accident. So he's not going to be able to make it. But you're invited to this workshop. And the presentation will focus on earthquakes and special consideration for older adults. You will have the opportunity to sign up for free smoke alarm installations at your residence, where a team will visit your home at your convenience to test your existing alarms and replace them if needed. So you'll want to be able to come to this. And then again, Bob had already told you about our Business Expo. We're trying to build a community together with Banning, all of Banning. We live in Banning, even though we live here at Sun Lakes Country Club, but our address still is Banning. So I have been really, really trying. I know Bob and some of my friends are like, oh my gosh, we're going to Banning again. We need to support Banning. We need to go to the restaurants. We need to go to the hair salons, to the nail salons. We need to keep the money here in Banning instead of going to Beaumont, to Yucaipa, to Redlands, to Riverside. If we have vendors here and businesses here, we need to use them. So please be diligent in trying to, as much as you can, use our businesses here in Banning. So the date is on Tuesday, April 4th from 5 to 8, and there's going to be door prizes to entice you and light refreshments. So I hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Steve Neese, Sunrise Drive. Somebody over here asked a question or made a comment about running your dog with a golf cart. There is a rule in Sun Lakes. The board passed the rule in the past. It is illegal in Sun Lakes to run or walk your dog from a truck, a van, an automobile, a golf cart, even a bicycle. It is a rule in Sun Lakes. There are still 2 people doing this. I see them constantly. And if you do see them, please turn them into Securitas or the administration office. A van was walking a dog, a van was running a dog alongside the van. The dog tried to stop and go to the bathroom. The guy ended up dragging the dog down the street, so it hurt the dog. If you see this happening, please turn the individual, follow him, and then get his license number or address, and then turn them into the board or Securitas. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Go ahead.
I'm Ajit Desai. The survey on dog parks and dog park and the lounge expansion has terminated today. I just want to thank everyone who participated. I want to thank all the delegates who urged your residents to participate. We've received about 952 responses online so far, and probably another 100, 200 that Dolores will give me. Be sure to give the responses if you have them to Dolores if you've not already done so. Let's see. We, aside from getting responses on those 3 issues, we've gotten several hundred comments on both those issues, as well as several hundred comments on issues that people would like the board to address. So that, I mean, that's a very good response rate, and I'm sure the board will take a good, give it good consideration. It will probably take, well, all the online responses have been analyzed so far, but these, the ones that come through the delegates manually have to be entered into our system, and that takes a lot of time because there are a lot of omissions, you know, and improper filling of the forms, and a lot of our residents write like doctors, you know, and that takes some time to decipher. But hopefully we'll have all the results done completed by, in about a week's time. We'll hand it over to Bob, and hopefully we will be able to give it to the entire community. Thank you.
Make it very short. We should not comment on the speakers. Go ahead.
Oh, really? Hello? Okay. Location of the dog park. I've had a couple people in my district and other districts say there's certain areas that would be projected, like the one near Gate 6. Has the one on Breckenridge up the hill, it's quite a sizable area, has that been considered?
You know, I don't know of any decision being
Excuse
taken
me.
on the
Excuse me,
location.
because I think that this is a comment that should not take place at this time, since there is a survey just received from the delegates, from all the homeowners that wanted to report their survey, and it will be given next week to the board of directors. So I think there should not be any comments on the part of the delegates or further any speakers, okay? Thank you.
Yeah. Just want to add that, in fact, that was one of the biggest issues raised in the comments.
I understand. Thank you.
Yes. No location was mentioned at all. It's just a survey, yes or no. Locations were not involved.
Yeah, there is nothing in the survey itself. It asks two questions, really. One is, do you want a dog park or not? That's it. Secondly, do you want a lounge expanded or not? Period. Okay? I want to compliment everyone for certainly braving the weather and all the rest in coming out to our meeting today. Hopefully, next month it'll be better. If there are not any more comments, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for attending.